Oh, hi there. Riveting to see you here. Let's talk about something that I saw getting a little more popular as of late, and that is quite an expensive hobby. Mechanical keyboards. I see plenty of content creators making content based on making custom mechanical keyboards, ranging from bang for a buck to what the fuck. So, let me take you through an abridged variant of the keyboard rabbit hole so you could understand what you like better, instead of having to go through 100-something videos like I have. Disclaimer, I have zero experience with mechanical keyboards in real life. Only experience I have is watching many keyboard building videos to get an understanding of the rabbit hole. Alright, heads up. Throw all of your prior knowledge of keyboards out the fucking window, because I'm gonna bird feed you lots of information. First things first, layouts. Keyboards tend to come in many different layouts to type with. Now tell me, does your keyboard have the letters, the F row, arrow keys, and number pad? Congratulations! You have a full-size keyboard! The most common layout of all fucking time. Other layouts include things like the 1800, the TKL, 75%, 65% if you're an idiot, 60% if you fucking hate yourself, and 40% if you're a fucking lunatic. There are also the more ergonomic layouts, like the Alice, Arisu, and Ergodox. They all look fucking sick in all honesty, but would take some time getting used to for the average person. Although, regardless, they are better for your wrist, you know, carpal tunnel and whatnot. Don't want to get RSI. I personally am a full-size keyboard guy. At least I will be once I get my own desktop PC, if ever. Because I need the numpad and the F row. The numpad I would need for macros on OBS or other pieces of software that I would use to make videos. Although the TKL or 75 are fantastic layouts for people who don't want too much desk space taken, but still want the most functionality out of a keyboard. Anything that is 60% or under makes me want to kill myself. Like, how would you get anything other than gaming done, brother? And the 40%? Holy shit, who are you people? Okay. Sorry, I got a bit winded there. Shit like that confuses me, you know? Alright. So, you looked at the layouts. You decide on what you want with that. Now we shall take a look at the switches. Switches are what actuates the key press on a keyboard. The shit that's under the keycaps. We'll get to them later. They usually look like a little box with a plus on it, with either 3 pins or 5 pins coming out of the bottom. You get 3 types of switches across the board. Linears, which are switches that press all the way down with no physical feedback or click. They're smooth, they can actuate in the middle of the key press before you bottom out as well. They're the most popular among the mechanical keyboard community. Here is a sound test of some Gateron HIPAA switches. Then we have clicky switches, the type that everybody hates. They have a loud-ass click and tactile feedback with each key press and will annoy just about anybody in a 5-meter radius. God, they're so loud! The only clickies I see people actually liking are the Box Jades. Meanwhile, Cherry MX Blues are absolutely shat on. Box Jades can be really satisfying to click on, but will get increasingly annoying as time goes on. Here is a sound test of the Box Jades. Alright, last but not least, we got the tactiles. They're kind of underrated in my opinion. They have a physical tactile bump in every key press, so you can feel it when you type, without the explosive sounding clicks of clicky switches. There can be tactiles like the Yeezys of the keyboard world, the Zelios V2s, which have a sharp-ass tactile bump, like a light switch. The tactile bump is at the beginning of the key press, and takes some force to press. Although when you do press them, you're gonna bottom out hard, whether you like it or not. There are light to medium tactiles like the Ergo Clears, or my beloved Corsa switches. Yeah, damn, they're so red and majestic, which have a little bit of pre-travel. which is essentially how much you press the switch before feeling any resistance or tactile bump. And the bump itself is a rounder bump, which from what I can tell is like a gentler press and not like a light switch. And there are the MX Browns, which I can sum up as...
No, this is garbage.
Here is a sound test of the Corsa switches. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the easiest part to understand about keyboards. Keycaps. They're what people see as keys on a keyboard. They can shine through if you want RGB, or be straight up opaque if you want a nice and solid color. They can either come in ABS or PBT. ABS keycaps tend to have a sharper, higher pitched and clackier sound. PBT tend to have a deeper, lower pitched and thockier sound. Get used to hearing those terms if you want to look at any keyboard build. There are many different keycap sets with designs and colors that will spice up a board, and there are way too many for me to talk about. But I will bring up one keycap manufacturer, GMK, the absolute juggernaut in the keycap business, known for their high-quality ABS keycaps, their expensive prices, almost extortionate in my opinion, and hilariously long wait times if you want to get a keycap from a group buy. If you want to know more about them, check out this video by Hipyotech talking about GMK and why he doesn't recommend them. Last three things to talk about are PCBs, plates, and cases. There are two different types of keyboard PCBs, solder PCBs and hot swap PCBs. Solder PCBs are boards that you have to solder the pins of a switch into with a soldering iron and a solder wire, making for a permanent board and also a longer time setting it up. Hot swap PCBs are far superior to me because they have sockets which you can place switches in and they work. You can replace switches from the hot swap PCBs at any time, pop them in, pop them out, and they are far less time consuming to set up. There are also plates which you put in between the case of a keyboard and a PCB. They are used for mounting switches and stabilizers onto the board. They can be aluminum, steel, brass, polycarbonate, and FR4, which is the material that PCBs are made out of. They make for different typing experiences, different levels of stiffness or softness when you type, different levels of deeper or higher pitched sound, etc., etc. There are also cases you need to use for the keyboard. They can be made out of plastic, out of metal, out of all sorts of materials. There can be different ways to mount the PCB into the case, and they can make for different sound signatures, but holy shit, is that going to be too much for me to cover in this video. I didn't even go into what stabilizers are and what lubing is. Oh god, stabilizers and lubing! Saying anything further would be too much for me to write in the script and edit my sprites onto the video, and too much for your small peanut-sized TikTok brain-rotten brain with literally 5 seconds of attention span. If you really are interested in the keyboard rabbit hole, you should check out legit keyboard content creators who are way more knowledgeable and credible than me, like Hipyotech, Switch and Click, Squashy Boy, Homogeneo, Keyboard, and Glarses. They all make fantastic keyboard videos and are the only reasons I know so much about keyboards and their shenanigans. I genuinely recommend watching them if you want to get into the hobby. Thank you for watching this shit show of a video and letting me show you a fair bit of the keyboard world and how deep this hobby really is. If you want board recommendations from me, I hear that Wuche Studios make very good boards under the Zoom series. Then there are also Keychron keyboards which are pretty good value, specifically the Q series, and also their more budget V1 keyboard. Regardless, I had a lot of fun making this video despite how annoying editing my sprites is for longer videos, and I can't be more grateful for you because you have stuck here till the end. It genuinely melts my heart, kind of. But regardless, see you later, fellas. Hop on. What do you mean keyboards tend to be expensive? They can't cost that much, can they? Holy shit.